tickled to death that you're here, and I hope that it'll be fun for you, and we'll try to make it that way. Thank you.
You make me feel so young. You make me feel so spring has sprung. And every time I see you grin, I'm such a happy individual.
We're honoring him tonight because of a lifetime of achievement.
I want to go play.
Personal achievement, professional achievement.
I want to go and bounce.
The awards go on, but it's not about the awards.
And we're off to a roaring start.
The whole notion of the Utah Shakespeare Festival is Fred Adams.
So young.
It's truly remarkable that it exists in a town like Cedar City.
You make me feel so young.
Barbara and I started brainstorming it in 1961, wasn't it? In 1961.
It met mixed reaction when Fred had the idea to start a Shakespeare festival.
Brush up your Shakespeare.
No one there bought into it at all.
There were a lot of skeptics originally, but the skeptics sort of going to the plays now.
You will wow.
When I think of William Shakespeare, I can't help but think of Fred Adams because he had an idea to bring this theater into this small community and make an impact on people's lives.
He goes after it with all his heart and soul. He just has a natural energy that comes out and grabs onto anyone who is listening to him.
You're all alone, no chaperone.
Fred could not have done what he did in those early years or any time without Barbara right there.
She was just as dedicated and a professional in every sense of the word to the performing arts that Fred is.
Let's misbehave.
She had a marvelous sense of humor. Oh my gosh, she was a funny lady.
And we were the ones that did everything.
We did it all.
So
yeah.
we didn't have to coordinate a whole lot of people.
We really didn't.
They were a perfect match in so many ways. Barbara knew that Fred was the one that would be out front, but she was the one that was going to be the steadfast one to keep the waters calm at home. To make sure that the green shows continued to be what they were and to continue to grow each and every year. They were a dynamite team together and were for many, many years.
Every season thereafter, we have always had Barbara's Green Show.
And I remember it just like it was yesterday. He fell down in an auditorium seat and he looked up at me and he said, "Mac, I didn't think we could do this. I thought we'd get it done because you knew you could do it." The original stage was built on a student trusting a teacher and a teacher trusting a student, both of them believing in each other's talents.
Welcome to the Utah Shakespearean Festival.
Fred is a visionary and remains a visionary. Fred's vision for this festival continuously has allowed things to run their course so that the next possible thing could happen.
We did a recording, a tape recording of phones ringing and phones being answered and typewriters clicking. And when a phone would occasionally ring, they'd put the recording on before they'd answer the phone.
Every move that he makes.
The first class that I took from Fred Adams was directing. And I was just enthralled with his stories and his effective way of teaching. I remember well Fred coming into our directing class and announcing that the legislature had given the money for the Adams Memorial Shakespeare Theater. Fred was the promoter and always able to continue to do new projects to improve the festival.
Your attention to, I really have to mention, is the one.
I've had the pleasure of knowing Fred for over 40 years.
All through her childhood, she was thrown from prison to prison to prison.
First as a student, where I learned and watched and was in awe of a lot of things that I had no idea what it was even about or why it existed.
And she smiled, and a young man wrote 37
of the most miraculous moments in the English language.
That's the stuff I don't think a lot of people see.
The plays of William Shakespeare.
That I admire so much about him. It's easy to see his passion and his love for people, his love for the work, his love for the glitz and the glamour of the theater. But behind that There is a deeply intelligent man who knows these plays like nobody I know.
I must go with you to Belmont.
Why?
Let's try that suggested kind of thing. But no, that's a very nice scene. Okay, it's going to be fun. Nice. Yeah, it's going to be sort of fun.
His sense of challenging one's ideas, also his tenacity.
Let's run it one more time. Okay. All right.
His vigor, his wardrobe. All of those things that encompass this unique individual that is Fred C. Adams.
Has always been Fred's vision and Fred's dream, is to create Shakespeareana in its completest form.
Trying hard to look like Gary Cooper.
He's been a father to the festival in a certain way, and his one great secret in the world, and it's the secret of his festival, is that he always has good people working for him.
I can hardly wait to get to the office in the morning. I work with the most wonderful people. I work with some of the most magnificent literature in the world.
His dream, his vision, his faith in making the Shakespeare Festival become a very real thing and bring the very best of culture and refinement and art, the work of the great playwright, to Cedar City.
Thank you very much.
And the way he serves people and doesn't talk about wanting attention or wanting any kind of recognition. I've seen that over and over and over again.
I've never performed at the festival. In 34 years, we've always been able to hire better actors. The staff said, well, why don't you recreate, I had done it years ago, why don't you do the Pseudolus role? And I said, oh no, we can get a real actor to come in and do that. And they said, well, you're so old, if you don't do it this year, you probably will never act. And oh, that was a red flag.
He's one of the most delightful human beings on the planet. I consider it a great honor to be his friend. And when I make my next fortune, I'm going to be giving some money to the Fred Adams Memorial, whatever it is.
As I began my work in New York City, the name of Fred Adams got me into doors that otherwise would have been closed to me because of Fred's wonderful vision of keeping the classic works alive. I hope he lives as long as Methuselah and has the strength of Hercules, because he's perfect.
The more we produced Shakespeare,
I adore this man. Your remarkable vision and talent and hard work created today's Tony Award-winning Utah Shakespeare Festival that has affected the lives of millions of people, cast, crew, and audiences throughout the world for good. Thank you for letting us invade your space, tell your story. Many congratulations, dear Fred. Love ya.
This year's special Regional Theater Tony Award goes to the Utah Shakespearean Festival of Cedar City, Utah.
In the world of athletics, it's the Hall of Fame. To a writer, it's the Pulitzer Prize. In the world of performance, it's the Tony.
We really need to recognize Fred for a job well done, and it's amazing what we've grown there with his leadership.
Hey Fred, I just wanted to say congratulations.
Why should Titania cross her Oberon?
What an amazing thing you created for Utah and for all the people around the country and around the world who come to visit and see all the amazing shows down there.
That's so lamely and unfashionable.
Hey Fred, it's Patrick Page in New York City, sending you all my love. I wish I could be there, but I send you the best and I celebrate you. Congratulations.
I have been instructed by my marketing office.
He is a one-of-a-kind individual.
In an asinine manner.
And that one-of-a-kind individual could not do the things that have been done here without having some sort of heart and mind.
Let's play!
Ask every person if he's heard the story, and tell it strong and clear if he has not.
I think it's just continuing Fred's dream and keeping it going.
Called Camelot.
And here we are, 50 some odd years later, and this vision is continually growing. And that is all a testament to a man who has both vision and tenacity to get it done. But at the core of that is really passion for theater. And he really walks that in his life.
Now, what founder of a theater that's a $7 million organization that's grown to what this is, make sure that you know, the phone gets answered. I mean, I've called when I didn't work here, and I said, Fred? You know, he's out picking up trash, making sure the flowers look good.
Pot, for heaven's sakes.
You know, he cares about the presentation of what we do in every form. It's a great model. It's a great example. That's aside from all the artistic genius and all the, you know, his business skills and vision and everything else. That's just a man who cares at the deepest level.
That's the amazing thing about him.
It now falls right down over my ears.
That he has this internal gift to never tire, he never fatigues, and just keeps going. He's consistently cheerful. He's always happy.
Fred is a treasure who, if the Bard were around today, would be writing something about. He has made a contribution culturally, artistically, and economically to this state that I think is rather unparalleled.
He sacrificed time, he sacrificed family, he sacrificed resources, but all for something that he believed was for the greater good. I've had the joy of watching his children grow up from the time they were 5, 6, 7, 8, and watch them come down and help sew on costumes and come and help finish scenery.
Hello, my lord.
I would say, having known him so well, that the only greater thing in his life besides his work is his family.
Oh, hello.
It is so important to him to be with them and to share things with them.
Let's unveil this piece to Barbara Adams. What masks, what dancers we shall have.
And you just say the word Mickey Mouse and he's all over it.
You wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are.
That is his youth and that's his enjoyment, and he's reliving a lot of that now through his family and through his grandchildren.
One man can actually make a difference. Fred Adams has made a significant difference to the arts in the state of Utah and certainly to Shakespeare and what he's done down in Cedar City.
It is an enormously important thing, and it's absolutely critical to the mission of Southern Utah University. To be able to have this art for the broader community, but also to change the lives of the people.
We're going to cue the music.
He's kind of a Pied Piper, and he goes along with the rats.
I was going to say, the metaphor is stretched a little. I mean, I deal very little with rats. The Utah Shakespeare Festival, unlike Quixote, was never, ever an impossible dream. There was never a question but that it would work.
You know, I really didn't think it was a crazy dream. It seemed very normal to me. We just...
Yeah.
Is just an unbelievable, magical, mystical thing that happened with Fred C. Adams and the people who believe in his dreams and connect their dreams to his.
And he's had the courage and the wherewithal to actually go out there and make the vision come to pass.
It's a golden day. Oh.
I salute him, I honor him, and I thank him.
I'm very grateful for him touching my life.
Oh, and?
I owe him so much. He's a remarkable human being.
Fred has reinvented himself continuously. So what's behind us is front and center, part of his dream. I don't think it's the final part of his dream at all. I just think it's another door that's open for him to walk through with us.
We've come farther in some ways than Barbara or I would have ever dreamed. We still have a long way to go.
I thought so little. They rewarded me by making me the ruler of the Queen's Navy. You thought so little, they rewarded me by making you the ruler of the Queen's Navy.
That's the last one?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, praise be.